Hi guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this video, I'm doing a detailed review of the new Phonak Lumity CROS rechargeable transmitter. Coming up. Phonak recently released their new Lumity CROS-R transmitter for their Lumity line of hearing aids. This is some welcome news for individuals with single-sided deafness because Phonak does not always release a new CROS transmitter every time they release a new platform of hearing devices. Now, if you have a hearing loss in one ear, then you are probably already familiar with the concept of CROS. But just in case this is the first time that you're hearing about it, CROS actually is an acronym for contralateral routing of signal. Basically, when the hearing in one of your ears is so bad that it cannot use a hearing aid, a CROS transmitter will allow you to take the sound from that bad ear and send it to a hearing aid that you have in your better ear. Essentially, we are crossing this sound over to your better ear so we can overcome the head shadow effect. The head shadow effect is a phenomenon that occurs when sound has to travel around your head to get into your better ear. And by the time it does this, it actually reduces the volume of that sound by approximately 8 decibels, which can be the difference between you understanding what someone is saying on your bad side and not even hearing them at all. If you also happen to have a hearing loss in your better hearing ear, we use something called BiCROS, which stands for bilateral contralateral routing of signal, which basically means that we have to also add amplification to that signal so we can overcome the hearing loss in your better ear. Phonak is very well known for their CROS technology. I mean, if you go back a number of years, their first CROS transmitters actually had a wire connecting the CROS device with the hearing aid in your better ear. Don't worry, since that time they have switched everything over to wireless so you do not have to have a wire going from one ear to the other ear. And they've also improved the performance of their CROS transmitters as well, but a lot of this performance improvement has a lot to do with the hearing aid that you pair it with. And I have to say that Phonak hearing aids are very good, which makes them a terrific option when it comes to CROS treatment. Since the Lumity CROS-R transmitter is built on the Lumity platform, you can use it with Lumity hearing aids. This includes the Lumity R and RT receiver and canal hearing aids, the Lumity PR behind the ear hearing aids, and the Lumity PR pediatric hearing aids. I do have review videos of the Lumity hearing aids that I will link down in the description. I do recommend that you watch them if you want to get a Lumity CROS transmitter, because remember, the transmitter is only as good as the hearing aid that you pair it with. Now, unfortunately, these CROS transmitters are only a receiver and canal design. It's been a number of years since Phonak released an in-the-ear version of a CROS transmitter. I think you have to go all the way back to 2016 with the Belong platform. The R designation means that this CROS transmitter is rechargeable. There is no disposable battery option on the Lumity platform. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. I love lithium rechargeable hearing aids, and I also love Phonak hearing aids, but I do not like that this CROS transmitter is only available in a rechargeable form factor. Why is that? Because it is the same rechargeable battery that they had in the Paradise platform that came before Lumity, and the users of this Paradise rechargeable CROS transmitter only got up to a max of 11 hours of battery life. Needless to say, for the vast majority of hearing aid users, 11 hours is not enough to get you through a whole day. This created a situation on the Paradise platform where I would actually take patients out of the rechargeable CROS transmitter and put them into a disposable battery CROS transmitter with the disposable battery Paradise hearing aid because of the battery life issues. And I specifically asked Phonak about this battery life issue when they announced the release of the Lumity CROS-R device, and they told me that they made no significant changes to the battery life capabilities of these devices. This means that if you want to use the Lumity CROS rechargeable transmitter, you're going to have to be okay with only getting up to 11 hours of battery life before needing to recharge your devices. The only silver lining to this is that lithium battery technology charges very quickly, so it only takes 3 hours to go from a dead battery up to a fully charged battery, and in 15 minutes you can get a couple hours of extra battery life. So if you need to take them out of your ears for about 15 to 30 minutes out of the day to get you through the rest of the day, that might be an okay option for you. That being said, I obviously preferred using a disposable battery with a CROS transmitter, but outside of that benefit that you would get with the Paradise platform of devices, the Lumity hearing aids are better better than the Paradise hearing aids. This is because Phonak added several additional features inside of the Lumity devices, including AutoSense OS 5.0, Stereo Zoom 2.0, and Speech Sensor. Now I should mention that there are no technology levels when it comes to cross transmitters. A cross transmitter is just a cross transmitter. However, the Lumity hearing aid that you pair it up with, those do have technology levels, and they go from the top tier premium L90 devices all the way down to the L70, L50, and L30 devices. When it comes to selecting the most appropriate technology level for you, I typically recommend that you go with the highest level of technology that you can reasonably afford, and only drop down in technology level if you need to save some money. And then of course it is the job of your hearing care professional to maximize the performance of whatever technology level you go with. All right, let's start talking about some of these key features that I just mentioned that make the Lumity cross transmitter better than the Paradise cross transmitter, starting with AutoSense OS 5.0. I've got to say that AutoSense OS 5.0 might be my favorite feature inside of a hearing aid, because this allows your hearing aid to automatically identify which situation you're in and put your hearing aid into the best program settings for that situation without you having to do anything. This means that if you're sitting in a quiet environment, your hearing aid will put you into program settings appropriate for that environment. If you decide you want to go out to eat dinner, when you get into the car, your hearing aid is going to switch you into your car program, and then when you get into the noisy restaurant, your hearing aid is going to switch you into a speech and noise or speech and loud noise program. Keep in mind that the higher technology level you have of a Lumity hearing aid, the more program options will be available for this AutoSense OS 5.0 to operate with. The Stereo Zoom 2.0 feature is an updated version of Stereo Zoom that Phonak has had for a while, and this can give you up to 16% better speech understanding in a background noise situation. And the new speech sensor feature can improve your speech understanding by up to 15% when that speech is coming from your sides or coming from behind you. Another thing that's kind of fun is that the Lumity CROS-R transmitter comes in a couple of additional colors that are a little bit more fun that Phonak just released. Now I do have all of these colors right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and show them to you. So this one right here is the precious pink color. This is not necessarily my color, but some of the ladies out there might like that one. The next one that we have is the electric green, which makes a lot of sense because Phonak color is definitely green. And then my personal favorite is the Caribbean Pirate. Arr, yes, I just made some pirate sounds there. Maybe Amelia, you could just cut that out of this video. Now you can still use Bluetooth streaming when you're using a cross transmitter. So if you want to pair up to an Apple device or an Android device, you can pair up to them and stream into your better hearing ear, no problem. Just remember, you cannot stream into a cross transmitter. That would make no sense. You can also use the different Roger devices, including the Roger Select, the Roger Table Mic 2, and the Roger On. And if you want, you can also use the TV connector as well as a partner microphone. Just keep in mind that when you do decide to stream into the hearing aid in your better hearing ear, there is no cross transmission that happens at the same time. And yes, for all of you out there who use the Paradise cross transmitter and you had to wait over a year for the MyPhonak app to be compatible, don't worry, you have compatibility with the MyPhonak app right out of the gate with the Lumity cross transmitter. If you're not familiar with the MyPhonak app, it's basically an app that you use on your smartphone that will allow you to do things like change your volume, change different programs, change different program settings on your own, and even have remote sessions with your hearing care professional from the comfort of your own home. As far as the performance of your cross transmitter and your Lumity hearing aid, it has everything to do with how well your hearing care professional programs it for you. And this includes whether or not they perform real ear measurement to verify that they are setting up your cross balance correctly and overcoming the head shadow effect. If you are not meeting your prescription for your hearing loss in your better hearing ear, it does not matter how awesome the technology is or how awesome the cross transmitter is, you will never experience the full benefit. And no, this is not something that can be done remotely. You actually have to be in your hearing care professional's office for them to perform real ear measurement on you for you to get the full benefit. I've seen many patients with cross transmitters that were not doing well with their treatment because they never had real ear measurement done, so keep that in mind. I will also add that the Lumity CROS-R transmitter is an IP68 rated device, which means that it's very resistant resistant to debris and moisture, so you don't have to worry about wearing it if you're going to be sweating a lot or if you get caught out in the rain. Overall, the Phonak Lumity CROS-R is an excellent cross transmitter, and if it wasn't for the limited battery life of the lithium-ion battery inside of it, it might be the perfect cross transmitter. Unfortunately, I don't see Phonak changing this limited battery life issue anytime soon, and I do not expect them to release a disposable battery version of this hearing aid inside of the Lumity platform. All that said, if you have single-sided deafness and you're looking for a clear performance improvement with a cross transmitter, you may want to ask your hearing care professional about the Lumity CROS-R device, because it could be the cross option that you've been waiting for.